Good morning, everyone. It's time for Fab Friday. I hope you are doing well. I am going to do a hair tutorial today. So, as you can tell, this is damp or wet hair, and I wanted to share with you all. I guess maybe about 6 months ago, I did the big chop, took 10 inches off my hair, and went into more like a bob. But just recently, I put a lot of layers in here so that I would have a lot of texture. And a lot of people have said it's time for a hair tutorial, so I thought I would do that today. And then next week, I think I will share with you the makeup that I did today, which is one of my favorite looks. So next Friday, makeup, back to makeup. Today, a hair tutorial. So thank you for joining me. Always remember, every Fab Friday, we have a winner for everyone who comments on the video. Good morning to Lisa Marie White. So you'll be entered into the contest. Good morning, Kim. Everyone who comments, everyone who likes the video, and everyone who shares the video, which is very helpful because that helps more people to have an opportunity to watch our Fab Friday videos. Good morning, Karen. That Gail Trent was, she brought by some of her books, and there's Gail right there. This is going to be the prize. Hightail It to Kinsey Falls, and Honey Baked Homicide, part of another one of her series, book series, and a little Kinsey Falls lipstick to go along with the Kinsey Falls book. So this is going to be today's prize for everyone who likes, shares, and comments on the video. And for those of you that don't win the Gail Trent book, you can go to gailtrent.com and check out her book series. Now let's get to business on hair. Now you can see, like I said, this is damp hair. I got out of the shower. I missed a little bit of that Orlando Pita protector on this first. And let's see here. I'm going to add a little bit of this, which you can see used a lot of this. This is one of our most popular products here in the hair salon. This is called Volume Infusion, and this is color preserving, volumizer, curl definer, gives shine and control. It actually has a level 7, a hold factor, and so I'm going to mist a little bit of this onto my hair, which will give us a ton of hold and more body to the style. And then I'm going to dry the hair. Now, I apologize beforehand. The blow dryer is going to be a little bit loud, but I won't dry for very long. It shouldn't take me very long. And I'm going to go ahead and plug up my curling iron. Now, what I've been doing lately with this style is I've switched up to a 1-inch curling iron. A lot of times I like a 1 1/4. That gives a looser look, but I've been starting out with a curly look first and then wearing it. This last time I wore my hair from Sunday all the way to Thursday. Now let me tell you, Thursday was kind of a bad hair day, but I wore a hat instead. But with that, if I start out a little curlier, then it allows the hair to kind of loosen up. Thank you, Janet, I appreciate that. So I'm going to show you a way that we can curl the hair with a 1-inch curling iron. Of course, you can adapt to the size curl that you want. So I'm going ahead and get this plugged up. This is a rust curling iron. It's a ceramic curling iron. It's very important to get a ceramic covered curling iron. They're my favorite because the hair doesn't stick on it like it does with like a regular metal one. Now to dry my hair, and good morning to Mel. Hello to Sarah. I'm going to use this dryer, and this is a Ferrari dryer. I actually have the name blocked off for when I did a video series for Milady several years ago. But this is very fast. Thank you, Sarah, I appreciate that. And good morning to Sue. This Ferrari dryer, they still make them, or one similar to this, or they come from Babyliss Pro, and they're actually made in the same city that they made Ferrari cars in, and the motor in here is super powerful and it dries your hair very fast. So I'm going to, let's see, we'll start off kind of on low, Now, rather than, if I wanted a smooth look, I would take sections and dry from the bottom up. But I am just going to, good morning, Sarah. I'm just going to loose, or what we call in the business, rough dry my hair, because I want to take advantage of some of this natural curl, and I'm not necessarily trying to stretch it out. I will also use my flex brush, and this is a flex brush without boar bristles, and this is really good. It's like a super duper vent brush. It has a curved shape that actually curves to your head, and also it has like a pattern here that allows the bristles to flex, and that's why it's called the flex brush. But I'm going to use this too to help dry my hair. So I'm going to start off and just kind of move the dryer back and forth. So it's always important to keep the dryer moving, because you can get a hot spot, or you can actually burn your hair, and I've seen people do that because they keep the dryer in one place too long. So I apologize if this is too loud, but I thought this is part of a hair tutorial, is using the blow dryer. Good morning to Kimberly. Thank you for all of you joining in on my Fab Friday today and all the other days. I've been doing these now for, I think this is going into my 7th month. So they've been very successful. Each week we have usually several thousand viewers. The top we ever had was 4,000. And that was on a hair video. So we'll see how this one goes. If you guys share this, maybe we can really get it out. Love that brush, she says. You bought one already at my recommendation. Awesome. So I do have these flex brushes available on my website, which is sherrijessee.com. This one with the hard bristles is $20, and the one with the boar bristles in between is $25. So just keeping that, you see here, just moving it. So I'm actually just kind of shaking that back and forth, and that keeps me from having the dryer too hot in any one spot. And kind of lifting the hair up as I go to kind of get in at the root, which will help to give a little volume. Now what I did when I got out of the shower, sprayed some leave-in conditioner, combed through, and began letting my hair dry in the shape that I want it to be in. Good morning to Leslie, tuning in from Minnesota, so it's early for you, huh? Good morning, thank you for being here with us. All right, I think I just about have that dry. So I'm gonna go just a last bit. Now, if I were to wear like a naturally curly look, I could leave it be right now, but what I wanna do is smooth this out just a little bit, because I'm going to go back in with the curling iron and curl the hair. So I love how this flex brush, you can just take that and just sweep that hair straight back off and smooth that down. And when you take your hair and you can kind of swing it around your head, you're actually using your head shape to help smooth that hair out. So stretching the hair, get down here in the nape, stretch, stretch, stretch. You can see we're going to get some extra body here. Stretch, stretch, stretch all the way around. This hair is going to look pretty crazy. All right, now I had that dryer on high heat, low speed. A lot of times I will use high heat and high speed to get things dried pretty fast. So there we go. That's got the hair all dry. And now what I'm going to do is begin curling the hair. Now this, I wouldn't wear it like this because it's still a little bit frizzy and it doesn't have enough shape. If I wanted to wear the hair smoother, I would begin at the bottom and work my way up and work with a round brush. And maybe I'll do another video for that another day. Now I'm going to go in with a clip. And this is a nice kind of strong clip, because what I'm going to do is begin at the bottom and work my way up to the top, curling my hair. Now, it's always very important whenever you're doing your hair to take sections, because that allows you to get more control. If you just go at it willy-nilly, it's sometimes you miss sections, and it's just not as logical for you or as methodical. And curling hair is kind of like a methodical thing. So I'm going to take my hair, and when you section, you just take your pointer fingers, and I'll begin the first section right here, just kind of right here above my ear, and then push hard on my head and push till I go finger to finger, and then from there, lift that hair up, and this will be my first section, right? And this is the Moroccan Oil Luminous Hairspray. This is the extra strong, but it's weightless and it's not sticky. So just shake that up, and I'm going to lightly mist that on that first section. I work with a comb, and I take each section. Now, I honestly hope I don't burn myself, because I'm doing all of this by looking into the phone, and the light is very bright, but the camera to me looks very dark. All right, so there's the first curl. Second section. Now, when you take sections, you can definitely see and feel what you've curled and what you haven't curled. So that allows you to hopefully get all the hairs. Now, this iron that I'm working with is a 1-inch iron. It's an old Rusk iron. Let's see. Now, I'm making these curls kind of like on the vertical. If you curl on a horizontal, that's going to create more waves and a little bit more volume, actually. But for this kind of a modern curled bob shape, I want to curl on the vertical. So there's my first section, curled all around. Now I'm going to drop down the next section. And this is, like I said, very methodical. So right up above that, so I'm going to start right here, go just above the ears, right to the top, push my fingers hard against my head, and then separate that out, twist the rest of this hair up, and use this big clip. So there's my next section of hair. I'm going to take my spray, and I always spray each section, so lightly spray that, and then I'll take my comb, and each of these sections, I'll comb it out. Now watch the action for the curling iron. I'm going to start up a little closer to my head, and then twist it around, and then kind of just drop it down, okay? So this is going to be a curlier bob shape. And start here. Now for me, I like to curl everything just straight back. Some people like to alternate the curl pattern into some backwards and some forwards, but for me, when I do that, the curls that I curl forward, I don't like as good, and sometimes I end up, it seems like they're in the wrong spot. So just to make it easy and consistent, I just take everything and curl it straight back. Now this is where you'll place your iron. Place your iron in close to the head, and then twist it around once, and then I'm going to kind of clip onto the iron and click and twist, click and twist, and then pull the hair down, okay? So we barely got that end in. There's the second section. Now you can see when you work with these very methodical sections, you can actually get the hair done quite quickly. This is a good way for curling this bob shape that I have, which is very popular right now. And you can also use the same technique in the same sections to curl longer hair. So going now, kind of from temple to temple, allow that hair to drop down. And remember, we started off with the leave-in conditioner. Then I went in with a little volumizing, texturizing spray. And now I'm working with my hairspray from Moroccan Oil. Now what this will allow us to do is get multiple layers of heat protection. So I'm going to take my iron closer to the root, twist it once, click and capture. Now, and then as I get to here, kind of just gently drop that down. And you can even take the end of the iron and kind of flatten that out. Now, the comments right now are coming about halfway on the video, so I can't really see the bottom what's going on with my hair. Some things that we do, we kind of go by memory. Thank you, Janet. I appreciate that. Okay, so we're going to go closer to the root, twist once, then click and twist, till we get just to the ends, and then kind of slide that down. And then you can kind of pull on it a little bit. This is going to be a pretty curly look. Thank you, Mindy. You know, I have been told that I'm psychic. Let's say, too bad the lottery numbers don't come to me. So we're going to click and twist, and then pull straight down. And I can kind of feel back here and hopefully get all of the hairs. So close to the root, twist, click and twist, and then gather more hair. And as you get to the end, you kind of just slide down. So all of this hair is going back, then all of this hair will go back in the opposite direction. So I just kind of slide my thumb up there and get a section, comb that hair out first. That's important because if you don't comb the hair out, what you're doing is curling the hair in a rough state and you'll kind of make it lumpy or bumpy. So I always think it's very important to comb each section because if I would just brush, like curl through that, it wouldn't be as smooth. So your curls are going to be shinier and no tangles if you curl through that, comb through that section first. So I'm curling close to the head and then click, twist, and all the way down. Now notice I hardly leave that curling iron on the hair anytime at all. Do y'all remember that video where that young girl, she was using a wand and she burned her hair right off her head? We all know that that can happen and we absolutely don't want that to happen to us. But the thing was, her hair was chemically processed. She had a hair color and she just left it on too long. So it's very important. Most all modern tools, thank you, Allison, I appreciate that. And there's nothing common about you. You are definitely extraordinary. But let me share this. Most all modern tools will have a thermostat. And this one goes from 265 to 430. Most of the time when I'm working in the shop and even when I'm working on myself, I usually think it's more like medium to high because I'm really fast with the curling. If you're not as fast, or if you have fragile hair, if you have bleached hair, fine hair, definitely put the temperature down lower because it is possible to burn your hair and it is possible to burn your hair off. And we don't want that. Highly unlikely, but it is possible. So each section, spraying, and now working my way up the head. Again, very methodical. Comb through, take that section, and I'm going closer to the root, and then working until, and just sliding that down, okay? Now the thing with this, some people, when they curl, they will go out to the end and then work up to the top. And what that means is the hair in the curling iron at the beginning has to stay in the iron much longer. And that's the most fragile part of your hair. Also, when you do that, you get more curl at the end and less curl at the root, which is really where we want more volume at the root. So the curl pattern that I follow, closer to the root, and then click and catch, and then as I get to the end, I kind of just gently pull that down. So the end, or you can even leave the end out. So the ends are a little straighter or less curly than the root. Good morning, Janice. I would love to see you. I was just thinking about you yesterday that I hadn't seen you in a little while. It's time for you to come in. So you just give me a shout and we'll get you in here. So curl and slide down. Well, let's see here. Splitting the head, side to side. From here, front to back, I curl backwards. And from this side, I curl the opposite way. So as I'm doing this, combing this section out, we've got our heat protectors on there. We've got our bob shape with our layers. And we're going to curl, twist, curl, and then you get to the end, kind of just pull that down. Good morning to you, Amy. How are you? I hope you're doing well. One of my old Pravana buddies, one of my favorite classes I taught was with you in Orlando Premier. We had that packed class and we was doing our thing, sharing our education with a big room of people. That was awesome. Alrighty, so working up at the root and twist, twist, and so I'm clicking and twisting and then pull that down. Okay? You need that curling iron. Yes, this is a good curling iron. I miss you too, Amy. You're awesome. Let's see, now I'm going to split this. From this point, you can decide where you want your part to be. I hope you're enjoying today's Fab Friday video, hair curling, which we don't do a whole lot of hair, but I've been having some requests, and since I've gone with a little different haircut, people are saying, how do you get that style? How do you do that? So I thought, well, today would be perfect. So I already got my makeup on for today, and today's makeup look I'm going to demonstrate next week. And this is actually one of my favorite makeup looks. You can see here, kind of with a slight cut crease and a cat eye and kind of a natural lip. One of my very favorite makeup looks. So that's what we'll do next Fab Friday. My favorite makeup look. Today, the curling hair tutorial. So grabbing each hair, one section at a time, and just working consistently from the bottom up. Now it's easier if you do that, either work bottom up or top down. Thank you, Allison, I appreciate that. But if you take your hair in sections, then you can make sure that you get all of it curled and there's no mistaking, no leaving any sections out. It's kind of like a divide and conquer plan. And you can see right there all the way to the end, and then we just kind of pull that down. So the end just barely gets in there. So take this, and I kind of like just take here, I slide my thumb upwards, and that helps me, whoops, to get that section. And then I comb it out. Hope you guys are enjoying your summertime. I know I am. It's been wicked hot around here, close to 100 almost every day. So kind of catch that and drop that down. So that does give us like a little bit straighter edge, okay? Let's see here. I think I've got just a few more sections left. Can you share what curling iron I'm using and what size? Yes, ma'am. How are you doing today, Miss Carla? This particular one is a 1-inch curling iron. 1 inch. 1 inch and 1 1/4 are my favorite sizes. Now, both of these curling irons are, this is a Babyliss Pro, and this is the one I use the most of the time, and I also sell them in the salon. This particular one is a Rusk iron, but they don't make them anymore. It's probably maybe about 10 years old. And a funny story about that is when they started, let me get this hair. I have a hard time seeing, and this light is so bright. When they first started making those curling irons, people weren't wearing curly hair. And it was kind of weird because we were showing them and everybody's like, oh, I don't like curling hair. And now everybody's curling their hair. So at the time, which was at least 10 years ago, when they started making these irons, they were really above and ahead of the curve on the trends of what was going on. And that's a true story on that. Now, sometimes you can take your ends if you want this. I like these side pieces to be a little straighter. So what I'll do is take the end of my curling iron and just pull through it. So it's almost like using a flat iron. So just kind of take that and pull through if you want the end just to be just a little bit straighter. So you can take that and kind of just stretch that very end out. So rather than completely leaving it out, we curled it, and then I'm going back and just kind of straightening it out a little bit, which creates a smooth end because the ends are ironed rather than completely leaving them out, and sometimes they can look a little bit frizzy. So that's a little tip that you can do. Just take your iron and then just press that through almost like it was a flat iron, just to get a little bit of straightness on those very, very tips, okay? So I would recommend the Babyliss Pro 1 inch and 1 1/4 inch, and keep those in your arsenal. The Babyliss Pro does have a temperature control. This is a professional product. I can get one for you if you're interested in that. I have some in stock here. The one I have in stock is actually, this is 1 1/4, but I might have a 1 inch also. I'd have to go downstairs and check. Alrighty, so good question though, thank you. Good morning, Missy, you're welcome, Miss Carla. All right, so I have all the hair curled, right? And it's amazing when you curl hair that it gives so much more shine. Look how shiny that is. And there's no frizz in there at all. And it's a combination of the heat of the iron and also the use of our products, because the products help. We're actually layering. I started with the leave-in conditioner, then the volumizer that also gives shine, the Moroccan oil hairspray. All those things give us shine to the hair. The dry texturizing spray, which is a dry shampoo and a volumizer. Now in my private label line, I sell both the dry texturizer and a dry shampoo. This one in particular gives you ton of volume and texture to the hair. So once we've curled the hair and we have everything smoothed, then we can go back through and just give little shots. I mean, it's amazing. Little shots of volume to the hair with the dry texturizing spray, okay? Lift up, get a little bit here in the back. Love this stuff. This is available on my website, sherrijessee.com, if you're interested in getting some of this. So, let's see, how do you like that? We'll just kind of shake that around. That feels good too, because I always have cracky things in my neck. Good morning, Wanda. Thank you. Good morning, Janet. Thank you so much. So I had been, to recap, since I went a little shorter with my hair, I've been having a lot of people say, well, how do you get that look? And so I thought for today, rather than doing a makeup Fab Friday, I would do a hair Fab Friday. Thank you, Amy. I appreciate that. So this is the completed look. And we'll check it all the way around at the back and the front. I prepared the hair, so it's always important to properly prepare with your products, and then take your sections, work from the bottom up so you can control the hair, and then I like to go through either with a wide tooth comb, or really for me, I usually just use my fingers and kind of go through and break up those curls so I don't look like Shirley Temple, and we'll go back through with the final spraying of our extra strong Moroccan oil hairspray for a luminous shine, and this hair should pretty well stay all the way through until this afternoon when I do my giveaway. Everyone who has liked the video, shared the video, or made a beautiful comment this morning will be entered into today's contest to win the Gail Trent books. Super fun. So I'll see you this afternoon for the giveaway. Next weekend we'll be back, next Fab Friday, back for makeup for my favorite look. And right now I'm going to say goodbye, and thank you so much for joining in. I hope you enjoyed today's hair tutorial. I'll see you this afternoon for the giveaway. I hope you win. Thank you so much.